There have been few infection AUs more requested, more mentioned, more lauded at me, thrown, hurled in my general direction than Pinkie's senses. Truly something it seems like everyone, and I mean everyone, desperately wants me to cover. Well, who am I to deny you what you want? I am just kidding. I edge y'all constantly, and you sit there and take it. Well done, sick freaks. Tonight we are going to be falling down the rabbit hole, the pony hole, if you will. I won't. Down into the depths of an AU where Celestia looks like this. Pretty crazy. On the other hand, before we go any further, really quickly, this is not a sponsorship. This is me talking to you. I created a spooky website recently for a dark art collective that I started here in my home state of Georgia. Give it up for Georgia. And I would love if you would check it out. There's a link tree in the description of this video. If you click on it, you will find the legion.com website. And if you click on it, you can find the legion.u website. Plus all of my other social media nonsense like Tumblr and Instagram and Twitter and Blue Sky and my music on Spotify, all the hell sites. Go check it out. I'll be waiting. My Little Pony late night snack. Crunch, crunch, crunch. We're off to a fantastic start. This is what I do every night at around 5 o'clock in the morning when I sneak into your house and eat your bones. She springs up realizing that her senses are going off. Now, recently I mentioned Pinkie senses in one of my other videos and as like the concept of Pinkie senses. And some commenters had no idea what I was talking about, which reminds me that there are people who watch these videos who have not seen or didn't grow up with the original show, which is on one hand kind of crazy to me. And on the other, such an interesting like microcosm of how internet culture and just culture in general works, where this derivative of a show or of an original IP, where it takes the characters and turns them into a horror setting, has become so much its own thing, that there are audience members who are completely unfamiliar with the source material and are only familiar with this version of it. That's insane to me. It's like meeting a kid who hasn't seen any of the original Star Wars movies but grew up with like the Disney ones and has like all of the nostalgia and memories associated with those characters. A kid who will see Darth Vader and think that character is derivative of Kylo Ren, or see that in the older movies they had a Death Star and be like, I've already seen that. Why are they retreading old water, you know? Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Long story short, for those of you who don't know, Pinkie Pie in Friendship is Magic has the ability to kind of sense when something is going to happen. Normally it's like danger, or something bad is about to happen. Her tail starts twitching and she gets like cold chills and she's like, oh my goodness, my Pinkie senses are tingling. She's like Spider-Man, but with cotton candy. She's Cotton Candy Man girl. She looks at her tail as it's twitching and says, okie dokie, and I'm going to guess is going to get out of the way. But why is she eating a lollipop? And on top of that, she was crunching on the lollipop, and yet there is no bites taken out of it. Was she crunching and her teeth were breaking? There's a reason why I can't stop thinking about teeth breaking right now. She happily starts to walk away, but we can see in the darkness that the whole cupcake place has been completely trashed and broken, and there's like broken glass, broken tables, hoof prints on the floor, and just stuff destroyed everywhere. It's a good thing I got us a snack. Celestia knows we'd be tingling all night. I wonder when every pony is coming back. She steps outside and she's got like icing all over her hooves. And I just had this horrific flash in my head of imagine she's like infected currently and that's actually blood, and she can't see anyone, and she like gets, I don't know. Anyways, I just got this horrific, probably not correct realization, but oh wait, no, there's blood. There is blood down. It looks like the icing is pooling into blood, and we're looking out at a kind of destroyed Ponyville. Everything's a wasteland, and she's alone underneath the twinkling stars. She could have also killed a bunch of the infected and is afraid of like the realization. Her mind is like protecting her. Pinkie Senses Part 1, Entries. Pinkie Pie. You already know what time it is. It's time to go over the characters. It's time to see what's going on with them. And it's time, hopefully, to see stages of infection. Maybe that'll come later. Pinkie Pie's infected, and she is patient 0. Twilight's first entry. We don't know how long she had the infection. She told us she had them since foalhood, but that obviously isn't the case. Infections like these spread out almost immediately, and sometimes without one's knowledge. Miraculously, none of us, myself and my friends, got infected despite being in direct contact with Pinkie Pie. This may be a sign of immunity, but we won't be taking risks. She's twitching constantly, acts just like the old Pinkie Pie. However, she's got what looks like gummy worms coming out of her head. They might be regular worms. It says those were not gummy worms. Oh, Celestia, they're not gummy worms. Unlike most infected ponies, Pinkie Pie shows no signs of rot and waste. Only 4 infected were found with similar symptoms, and all 4 are now deceased. Then next we have a diary entry from Pinkie with pink text on this background with like blood splatter on it. I'm going to do my best to read it. I think I'll be fine, but we'll see. Day 1, I think. Hi, I'm Pinkie, and these are my friends, the so-called parasites. I love them so much. Wiggles to protect me. Worm party. Back when I was a little foal, before I got my cutie mark, I made friends with some worms in my body. Oh, God. They kept me safe from harm, becoming my famous Pinkie senses. Other ponies didn't know that my bestest friends, the quote-unquote parasites, were what kept all of us safe from harm. They loved them as much as I did. When other ponies got less friendly worms, I tried so hard to convince them that I didn't start the infection. It's not our fault. But they wouldn't listen and left me alone. I hope they're okay, though. And then we see Twilight bawling her eyes out. And is this just the art style, or is she also, like, infected? I can't totally tell. Are they in the... It looks like they've all, like, evacuated and left Pinkie Pie to fend for herself. And judging from the background, they may be in the Crystal Empire now. Oh, I'm understanding now. She's reading these diary entries, and that's why she's crying. Pinkie Senses Part 2. Rarity. Possibly immune. Wow, that's a really cool design. I really like how different the designs have been. She's possibly immune, not doing well mentally. They are forcing her to eat and also to drink. Rarity hasn't been the same since Sweetie was infected. She's done her best to hold it together for her and often visits her little sister. I suspect it's what keeps her from... Oh my, huh. We always do checkups on Rarity due to her constantly letting her sister touch her bare hoof or tail. We told her many times not to do that in case of infection, but nothing will get through to her. It's not your fault, Rarity. And then I'm guessing Twilight wrote this, but put no longer takes care of herself with a little arrow pointing directly at Rarity, and that's typical behavior. From Twilight, not from Rarity. Tail stylized often visits with Sweetie Belle. She will stick her tail in cell for her sister to stylize, despite us telling her not to. Is Sweetie Belle in, like, containment? Oh, yes, she is. Oh, no. Oh, look, there's one of the Griffins. Or, I forget his name, but that's probably the character from the show, the main Griffin guy. A lot of these infection AUs don't really acknowledge the other, like, the many different, like, species that are within the world of Friendship is Magic. So it's always cool when one does. Oh, she's got the worms coming out of her. That's horrible. Poor Sweetie Belle. I also love the Save the Cat picture behind her. Evil screenwriting book. Evil. Pinkie Senses Part 3. Trigger warning. Parasites and blood. I think we're getting the stages of the infection here. Parasite history. The first to be infected were fillies and foals. The worms appeared to be gummy worms and tricked nearly everyone until the infection started to become noticeable. Dragons and Kirin are the only species that are completely and naturally immune due to their body heat being too high for worms to thrive. She puts a note that chopping the worms into pieces will not kill them. There's an unsuspecting parent watching her children eat gummy worms that they found off the ground. Whatever happened to the 5-second rule, guys? You have 5 seconds after the food touches the ground to eat it. I highly doubt gummy worms that have been laying out in the sun on the floor. You fool. You absolute fool. Foal. You foal. The worms adapt and later start spreading to the adults through direct skin contact. The worms would produce small baby worms that were microscopic and would burrow into the skin of the unsuspecting pony, leaving them with mild itchiness. Infection moves faster in foals and fillies, cannot feel the worms but are scared, unknowingly infected, and raw from scratching. Let me try to frame this. A lot of the infection stages slideshows that we get use one character from the show, which isn't like inherently, I don't know, for whatever reason it doesn't affect me as much as these unnamed children and their mother and we're kind of seeing how the infection hurts them over time and how it changes their relationship to each other, how they're like clinging to their mom, how the mom isn't aware that she's infected too and is scratching at the wounds or whatever, having to watch your child get infected by little gummy worms that they ate off the ground. It's pretty horrible. Stage 1. The subject appears normal, slightly itchy skin, and has a hint of a sweet flavor, but nothing extreme. Tastes like gummy bears, raw areas from scratching. Earth ponies, zebras, cows, and bison are a lot harder to detect. Pegasus, griffins, changelings, and unicorns are immediately found to be infected. The wings are raw from dragging, same symptoms as earth ponies. Eventually the horns stop working. If subject is magic or a flyer, there are extra symptoms in stage 1. Magic will become weak or even stop working before stage 2. Wings stop working altogether, simply being dragged on the ground. In stage 2, worms start appearing from the mane, nose, mouth, and in later stages, the eyes. Despite the worms poking out and burrowing through the skin, it seems the worms produce a numbing effect, leaving the subject with little to no pain. The subject is more fatigued, but still has some energy. Shaky, weak, blood loss, hunched, rashes, blisters, exhaustion, legs spread apart to keep balance. Jesus, dude, this is horrible. Stage 3 already. I'm being affected mentally by looking at this. The concept of just the numbing effect as they're like worming through your body. What are they doing? Are they like eating, like kind of how worms burrow through the dirt and kind of exfoliate the dirt? I'm kidding. The worms start to control what the subject sees, hears, and smells. Sometimes they become blind and deaf. The subject isn't violent or aggressive, but becomes more willing to come in contact with others. They will express the need for their friends and family, showing signs of depression and severe fatigue. You must not engage, no matter how mournful their wails are. Man, this is horrible. They are physically rotting at this point. Note, subject overdoses on chemicals produced by the worms, which also causes the rotting. There's bile coming from the mouth, worms trying to leave. Some of the worms are dying. The creature's too weak to stand at this point and is rotting alive. All right, now we're back to looking at some more bios of the characters, which honestly I'm grateful for because, damn, this one's really, really messed up. I don't know why it's bothering me to the extent that it is, but damn. This is crazy. Very disturbing. Very cool. Shout out to the artist. Oh, did I not say the artist's name already? It's My Quirk is Fred. As always, there's going to be a link down below in the description where you can go follow the artist, check out their other work. Gotta go do that. Gotta do that, please. For me. Do it for me. And also because the art is awesome. Twilight is completely sucked into her research. She's trying to keep it together for us, but we know she's not taking care of herself along with Rarity. She wants to leave to find Discord and Pinkie Pie, but we made her stay. The kingdom needs her. Here's her emotional support pet, overworking herself, eyes red from crying. Okay, so I guess Spike is writing these ones, which is signified by the green text. And holy shit, dude. Spike looks badass in this one. What on earth? All right, here's Spike. He's automatically immune. He's been taking up a lot of work involving leaving the safe zone. While he is immune, there are still many other risks. He, along with Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and Fluttershy, are currently searching for Pinkie Pie in Discord, and he writes every day. He has scars from Crystal Heart. What on earth? Does he have the Crystal Heart inside of him for some reason? What is going on here? We'll find them, I promise. He's gotten stronger. Keeps infected wildlife away. I'm so proud of you, Spike. Thanks, Celestia. And here is Fred. Fred? Who's Fred? But here is Fred. He makes poor life choices, hates heights, hot-headed, makes questionable art. Lamau. Random Griffin we found states that she's married to Megatron, who she says is a giant robot, whatever that is. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Is this like I don't know exactly what, I can't tell if this is like a self-insert or more like just an OC. This is amazing. Told me to write, sorry guys, your favorite characters might die. Also states that Queso is the best streamer. She may be dangerously and medically insane. Shout out Fred. My girl Fred over here. This is amazing. I love this. This is my, this is hilarious. Pinkie Senses Part 4. Applejack, one of the strongest willed ponies around here. However, she is also closed off compared to before. Unfortunately, we lost the power to the element of honesty due to her change. It lays dormant, along with the element of laughter. It's not her fault, though. She lost so much, and it's difficult to be honest and open about your trauma while you're still living it. Wedding band used as a nose ring. A matching gift from Big Mac. Lack of sleep. A liar now. Oh my god, that's crazy. Her tail is cut short. Her mane is cut short. Metal horseshoes. I'm fine, Twilight. And here's Rain Dance. These designs are so cool, dude. Look at this. I love the rain inspired art for this one. This is so cool. Like Applejack, Rain Dance has been deeply affected by the infection. So much so that she dyed her mane a dark gray and changed her name to Rain Dance. Rise up, emos, goths, join us. Join me in Rain Dance, and together we can rule the galaxy. She doesn't say it, but I know it reminds her of the worms. Her loyalty element has strengthened since the infection, and she's trying to revive the element of honesty through supporting her wife. I'm so happy for them. Hell yeah. She hates anything colorful now. Not as happy about that. Wedding band used as a nose ring. More buff from working on the ground more. She covered her cutie mark. Has a drip pattern from dye. Oh, interesting. That's dye. A poor dye job in her mane, hasn't preened herself. I'll talk to Applejack. No pony knows her like I do. Then here's Fluttershy. Okay, I see you. Wings are silent. She has a false smile, a strong nose. Wings are powerful from constant use. Shaves her talons down. She has taken the role of caretaker. Also tried to adopt Pinkie's enthusiasm to bring some normalcy back. Since the infection, she refuses to touch the ground. If she's tired, she will rest in the trees. She desperately wants to find discord in Pinkie Pie and refused to stay at the Crystal Kingdom. Take a deep breath, everyone. We'll be okay. Hooves are sensitive from underuse. This is one of those infections with some videos, so we're gonna let this play. I'm gonna turn the audio up a little bit. Let's see what's going on here. Warning, eye strain, unnerving sounds. Loud noises. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh my god. What is this dog doing, bro? Okay, so the dog is supposed to be Winona from the show, Applejack's pet and work dog. Damn, that's terrible. I'm sorry, Winona. Poor Applejack. And Celestia, what on earth is going on with you? Why is she singing? What on earth is going on in the background, dude? Celestia's going crazy. One of the top comments here is, Celestia, something's different. Did you get a haircut? Why, yes, I did. Thank you for noticing. Here's Luna. Her horn casts a magic veil. Her eyes are hidden. The other side is reflective like the moon. She's healthy, is no longer immune, became immortal after defeating Nightmare Moon. Oh, interesting interpretation of that. Princess Luna has been keeping us all sane by overriding our dreams and aiding Canterlot. She has been the one contacting Cadance and I. Celestia hasn't written a letter in a long time. Luna states she's overwhelmed with responsibilities but refuses to disclose her health and status. As of recent, our dreams have been getting worse. Luna seems absent in her duties, but she has been sending letters here and there. I worry for both of them. Dear Twilight, there are no updates on the whereabouts of Discord. Things have changed around here. However, we still prevail. The army stands strong against any threat. I will notify you if my sister and I have a change in our health. Do not concern yourself with Celestia's health. Period. Space. She is fine. Period. When she is ready, comma, she will send a letter. Period. Passive aggressive as shit. Best regards. Luna, do not stray from the night. The sun's light is no longer safe. Okay, so Celestia is turning evil. That's fantastic. Obviously, she's got worms in her tubes. Okay, so the next slideshow, I was confused for a second, and then I went ahead, and it is in order. So I just don't know what's going on. But I think we're looking at Chrysalis here, and someone says, then I will make it my priority that you will never have the privilege of satisfaction. And I think that that's the evil Celestia design. I'm like 90% sure. And then the slideshow ends with My Little Pony Pinkie Senses Radiant Origins coming soon. Which, first off, what on earth are we looking at here? But second, Radiant Origins. So I'm assuming that it's like, is it the how everything got started? Or more, I guess radiant implies this, maybe the sun, radiance, shining light. Our souls shining like lighthouse beacons, one might say, in this concrete jungle even. That's an inside joke, you wouldn't get it. Dear Twilight, it's me, Spike. We're doing okay. In fact, we found Zecora and Treehugger. They've been taking refuge at Zecora's hut this whole time and have been taking in survivors who got lost. They resupplied us for the journey, and we finally got to sleep in beds for once. We'll arrive in Ponyville before we know it. And then there's a picture of Spike and Zecora and Treehugger all kind of hanging out. Again, the designs in this are amazing. I love every character has these awesome sweeping redesigns. It's fantastic. It's very pretty. Here's Tree Hugger. Has been living with Sakura. She is relatively the same as she's always been. Extremely helpful when it comes to herbs and medicine, her and Sakura built off each other's medical knowledge. Cured my flu, tired from collecting herbs, Fluttershy is excited for Tree's baby. Need some Delta 8? I'll take your entire stock. Cooks for the survivors. And then here's Sakura. It turns out she has been living in her home throughout the infection. Apparently, infected individuals don't last so long out in the wilderness. Sakura has been helping lost survivors who couldn't find their way to the Crystal Kingdom. Unharmed but more reserved, she is still nice though, only expresses herself around Tree Hugger. All these horses are gay. Doomed Yuri! Sorry. This Yuri is not doomed, guys. Or toxic. Healthy, loving relationship. It's got the Daniel Profeta stamp of approval. I'm sorry. She's definitely seen things. Is making medicine for other diseases. I forgot we still have the common cold. Frowny face. And there's Twilight, reading, sadly. But then she cracks something of a smile. Yay. I looked in the comments, I missed something. Apparently Tree Hugger is also currently expecting a child. So that's cool. Fluttershy added a little yay with hearts because she's excited for Tree's baby, which I guess somehow I completely mixed that bit of text there, but oh well. Also, if you silly fillies didn't know, Delta 8 is a THC product, so I'm assuming it's because so stressed that we need to smoke a lot of weed. The next slide shows just a bunch of facts relating to the series, and really quickly I want to stop and say, while I am really enjoying what I've been seeing so far, it is a little bit frustrating when series, and there's been a few that have done this, where they kind of fall into the trap of just doing like character cards and stages of infections forever and like don't really add much meat to the story. I know we're pretty early in, but I am currently almost 40 minutes into the recording of this video, which will obviously get cut down. You know, I don't know exactly how long it's been, but it's probably been like 20 minutes or so of me just kind of reading character descriptions and what's been going on with them, which is important to know, you know. But sometimes I think that the stories could relate that information to the audience through the story as opposed to through like, you know. Anyways, it's not that big of a deal. It's just something that I've noticed, and I always really like it when stories actually like get to story. There's still a long way to go though, so I won't worry too much about it. This next slide shows just a bunch of facts, a bunch of assorted facts. Number 1, in this AU, changelings are in mid-reformation. Not all of the changelings reformed before the infection, so there are stragglers like the one shown in the Rarity post. The changelings, reformed or not, are not enemies, not when there is an infection that also kills them. That includes Chrysalis. Number 2, Celestia and Luna are stationed at Canterlot. The city was evacuated, leaving just the princesses, the guards, and a team of scientists. Celestia keeps in contact with both Twilight and Cadence to update the two on the potential cure they're working on. Celestia is on the front lines of the operation. She's not going to be useless in this AU. Number 3, the Griffins keep away from the situation for the most part. They're not a naturally immune species like dragons and Kirins and would rather not get involved. They were never close with the ponies before the infection. Why would they now when the worms came from them? Some Griffins stepped up to help the Crystal Kingdom, but they are banished from Griffinstone. The Griffins were so annoying in the show, dude. The Kirin help with finding herbs in their forest to give to Celestia for research. Some are scientists and doctors who handle the worms and the infected without fear of infection. The infected like them simply because they don't hesitate to touch them and treat them like people. Celestia is immune thanks to her sun powers upping her body heat. Luna is not. Celestia is not an alicorn. Before Celestia sent Nightmare to the moon, Nightmare cast a spell on Celestia that made her unable to control her powers, hence why Celestia needed Twilight's help 1,000 years later. The spell has also been chipping away at her mind. I wonder if the evil pony that we keep seeing is possibly Nightmare Moon. I'm not sure that it's a Celestia. I was going off of some of the comments that the creator had hearted earlier when I was like, oh, that's Celestia. Maybe it isn't. We'll find out. We'll get more clues as we go. Number 9, Discord is the brother of Luna and Celestia. That's cool. I like that. Chrysalis was once an alicorn tyrant hungry for power. She was discriminated in her childhood due to having both wings and a horn and gave back that energy tenfold. It's always funny to me when an AU creator or just people in general obviously like villain characters, and then in order to like justify liking them, they will create backstories for them where it makes more sense to like them, I guess. Like in the show, Chrysalis is, and so is Discord, really. They're super evil. I guess Discord kind of gets reformed, but he's still super manipulative and chaotic and selfish throughout the entire show. Like, even when he first shows up, he's horrifically evil and tries to like take over the whole world, and they defeat him. And then from that point onward, he's like, he gets recruited to be evil again later, and then they just forgive him again because he is the best character. But let's like characters even though they're evil. Let's like them because they're evil. Chrysalis can just be evil. I'm kidding. Anyways, I still think that I do think that that's a cool background thing, that she was discriminated against, and that's why she's the way that she is. It's just sometimes bad guys are just kind of evil. Her tyranny was so cruel it angered the god of creation, Celestia. Chrysalis refuses to speak of that day, nor does she wish to meet face to face with Celestia ever again. Many of the villains you see that have existed long before have faced Celestia one way or another, but none of them have won. Some say she was merciful, but if you ask those like Chrysalis, she'd disagree. If she was merciful, she would kill me. The threats have only started attacking Equestria when they learned she would no longer step outside her glorified chamber by her own decision. Gilda, Ember, and Spitfire are heads of the search and rescue. They are considered the best group out of the rescuers. They have bonded with one another throughout their time. Dr. Redheart, previously a nurse, became the head doctor of the Crystal Heart Hospital to treat patients after Dr. Horse was infected. Dr. Horse. It's Dr. House. Rotten Butch? Rotten Butch? That's the name of a character? Is that a character from the show, or is that an OC? Rotten Butch. That's a crazy name. Why are you back so soon? Your break just started. ... Uh-oh, what's wrong with the hooves? Wait, why is there a leak? Why is there so much water down here? Who is that turned to stone in the painting? Is that Shining Armor? Uh-oh. Everyone shows up. What the hey is going on out here? Because there's leaking water everywhere. And she stares. Oh, something's going on. I don't really know. There's red streaks around her. What is that? Is it raining fire from this? Is it raining fire from heaven? What's going on? Fire and brimstone, doom and destruction. Holy shit, the moon is closer than before. The moon is slowly approaching their... Oh no, dude. What? Me when I'm playing Ocarina of Time. No, not Ocarina. Me when I'm playing Majora's Mask and the timer runs out. Hello, I'm the moon. Luna is gone, and the moon is falling. Did Luna die? We've been told multiple times that Luna is not immune to the infection, and that she's technically a mortal pony. So I guess it's most likely that she was infected. But it would also be very interesting if someone in the comments was saying, did Celestia kill her? Which also would have been quite interesting. Pinkie senses Radiant Origins. Many lost winters ago, the first alicorn was born. Her heart was filled with love and kindness, seeking friendship among her peers despite being very, very different. Her gentleness and loyalty was endless to all in need. Unfortunately for Crystal, unicorns, Pegasus, and Earth ponies were segregated, and the idea that Crystal was a unified entity of all three had challenged their beliefs and ways of life. So, terrified and disgusted by her, the ponies persecuted the poor alicorn. To the ponies, Crystal's mere existence was an abomination. Oh, so this is Chrysalis. Okay, I'm taking back what I said earlier. This is a cool backstory. I like it. I still believe in what I said earlier, but I like this. This is cool. Crystal was left distraught. Having no pony to turn to, her fragile heart was wounded beyond repair. Despite everything she did for those ungrateful ponies, they took pieces from her and gave her nothing in return. But like any pony who was mistreated by their peers, Crystal would eventually grow bitter with malice and fury. Soon Crystal Heart would gain the favor of other ponies by appealing to some and striking fear into others. Ponies and creatures she had befriended would serve her without question. Some would even hurt others on her behalf. Those who dared to discriminate against her wings and horn were punished, soon placed in labor camps or humiliated in front of their peers. Punishments became more severe, bordering on cruel, as the rest of the village attempted to push back against their new dictator. And we're seeing these paintings of ponies chained up with like their wings or horns chopped off entirely. Crystal's way of ruling did not go unnoticed. Word spread far and wide, soon reaching the shrine of the great god known as Celestia. She sent her ambassadors to bring peace to the newly founded Crystal Kingdom, but was met with their wings and horns taken. Celestia was livid. I really like how she's like a eldritch being in this one. After sending a message to the ponies, Crystal assumed she would continue her role as queen. She was wrong. Oh my god. Holy shit, that design is one of my favorite things that I've seen in any Infection AU. That's horrific. Oh, I love that, dude. If you wish to continue with your cruel selfishness, then I will make it my priority that you will never have the privilege of satisfaction. That is insane. All right, we're going to pause for a second. I actually can't continue recording right now. I have to leave for reasons that I cannot tell you right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish one more. This is actually a really good stopping point. It's exactly halfway through the series, which is a pretty long one, like comparatively speaking. I just got finished with a video that took me like 2.5 hours to record, and it had 21 slides, I think, or slideshows, and this one has 30. So thank you to the people who requested Pinkie Senses. Let's go through this one last slideshow, which is called Pinkie Senses Extras, and then we're going to call the video there. Call it. Flip the coin. Call it. Here's Luna's big-ass moon. I feel thirsty just looking at it. I wonder if it has water and if it's refreshing. Here's what was going on before and after. Huh, all right. So majestic. Happy colonizer. Oh my. And then there's gore on the next slide. I threw up. I love the I threw up thing I feel like I've made that joke in a bunch of videos, and the artists keep making that joke. It's very funny. I also think the worms here are kind of crazy. Why are they so long and wild in the poor dog? The eyes. Oh, the eyes are nasty. You see the one eyeball hanging out, and the jaw, the mangled, broken jaw that almost looks like it's 3 jaws. Crazy. Me and the bronies ganging up on my bullies. And then there's blood in the next slide. You get what you bucking deserve. The previous elements of harmony, these guys actually got lore. Their stories are depressing, let me tell you. Not very harmonious anymore, I guess. And they're gay. Nothing to see here. Dear Crystal, ellipses, space. It's on site, period, space. Love, Celestia. Twilight's bed with a very nice view. It's actually comfy as fuck. Radiant Origin's official symbol. You'll see it appear more. It also looks a little bit like the biohazard symbol to me, which is what I initially thought it was. And yeah, we are going to end it there. This video will probably be around 30 minutes long, maybe a little bit longer than that. Thank you so much for joining me. You're pretty cool. You're pretty neat for doing that. Okay, the artist has a straw page with Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, Tumblr, and Blue Sky. And I also love the Transformers art that they have. It makes sense, married to Megatron from earlier. Decepticons! Retreat! I do wonder which version of Transformers is the favorite from the artist. If you see this, my quirk is Fred. My Fred is quirk. Let me know which generation of Transformers is your favorite. And on top of that, what's your favorite episode or movie from said generation, or comic, I guess. Anyways, links to their stuff will be down below in the description. And always, as always, come find me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, other places. I have a link tree in the description with a bunch of links. Follow me, because I'm awesome, I'm hilarious, I have great music taste, and I will attack you if you don't. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next transmission. And lastly, thank you to the enablers over on Patreon. Without you, this channel would be nothing. Thank you, Rue, Nervous, Cupid, Delphi, Joe, Bug, Linty, Paper, Gun, Drarko, Kyojin, AJ, Darkbeast, Bile, Coyote, Bat Noise, Phoenix, Bees, Amelia, Thomas, Justin, Tom, Dave, Elkie, Stardrop, Nude, Joseph, Fox, George, Boris, Kim, Rotten, Dissemiotic, Jasper, Harry, Dugan, Z, Ellie, and Connor.